Breaking news. Something big is happening with the Los Angeles Chargers, and you need to hear it right now. A young wide receiver is making serious waves at practice, and what he's doing is shocking everyone. Could this be the missing piece Justin Herbert has been waiting for? We're diving deep into what's really going on behind the scenes, and trust me, you'll want to stay till the end. But before we get into this exciting update, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss a single Chargers update. Let's get into the latest news. Trey Harris is turning heads. The Los Angeles Chargers might have found something special in rookie wide receiver Trey Harris. He's not just showing up, he's standing out. Coaches, scouts, and even veterans are noticing how sharp and confident he looks during OTAs, organized team activities. Reports suggest he's already being talked about as a possible WR2. Yes, that's right, wide receiver number 2. Now, if you're thinking this is just early hype, think again. Harris is making tough catches, running clean routes, and showing chemistry with Justin Herbert that looks better every single day. This isn't just luck, this is hard work meeting real talent, and here's why it matters. Herbert's stats have always improved when he has strong targets. Think back to his rookie year. When he had elite receivers, he was nearly unstoppable. But last season? He struggled without solid weapons. Things only got better when a reliable receiver stepped in late in the year. That's where Harris could come in big. This young rookie isn't just filling a spot, he's changing the energy of the offense. He's bringing back hope to a Chargers attack that desperately needed a spark. He's fast, smart, and already proving he belongs, and that's not all. Stay tuned, because next we're going to uncover how the Chargers landed 2 more surprising names, Omari and Hampton. It's a behind-the-scenes look that will change how you think scouting really works. Trey Harris, the stats don't lie. The buzz around Trey Harris just keeps getting louder, and it's not just hype. Reports from Chargers OTAs say the rookie wide receiver is already making noise. Coaches are watching him closely, teammates are impressed, and fans are getting excited. Why? Because Harris isn't just showing promise, he's delivering results. Let's talk about what he's doing on the field. Harris has been making tough catches in traffic, and he's showing he can stretch the field with big plays. This kind of performance is rare from a rookie in early practices. But then again, Harris isn't just any rookie. Back in college, even with a shortened season, he put up jaw-dropping numbers. In just 8 games, Harris had 60 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Yes, you read that right. That's elite production, especially in a tough conference like the SEC. To put that in perspective, he became one of the only receivers in Ole Miss history to hit the 1,000-yard mark in such a short time. He even earned second-team All-American honors and was a semi-finalist for the Biletnikoff Award, which goes to the top receiver in college football. All of that in just 8 games. Over his college career, Harris stacked up more than 2,000 receiving yards, 114 catches, and 15 touchdowns. But it's not just about the numbers. Analysts who break down game film love him too. According to PFF, Pro Football Focus, Harris earned an 89.7 grade, ranking him among the top wide receivers in the nation last year. That's a sign of a complete player, not just stats, but consistent quality on every snap. If he can carry even a portion of that performance into the NFL, the Chargers' offense is in for a serious upgrade. With Mike Williams, Ladd McConkey, and now Trey Harris, this wide receiver room could become one of the strongest Herbert has ever worked with, and we're just getting started. The next update reveals how the Chargers spotted this kind of talent early and what it says about their future plans. Trey Harris could change everything for Justin Herbert. Trey Harris isn't just a solid receiver, he's a game changer. The numbers from his college days are almost hard to believe. In just 8 games, he led the SEC with 12 catches of 30 yards or more. And when it came to 40-yard plays, he tied for the most with 7. That kind of deep threat ability is exactly what the Chargers need. But what truly sets Harris apart is what he does every time he's on the field, not just when he catches the ball. He averaged a ridiculous 5.12 yards per route run. That means on every single route, whether the ball went to him or not, he moved the offense forward. That's not normal. It's elite. No one else in college football topped that number last season. And here's something even more impressive. When quarterbacks threw to Harris, they posted a passer rating of 149.5. That was the third highest in the country. In simple terms, throwing to Harris made quarterbacks look like superstars, and that brings us straight to Justin Herbert. Let's take a quick look at Herbert's 2024 season. While it wasn't his most explosive year in terms of yardage, it was one of his most efficient. He threw 23 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions, a near-perfect ratio. In fact, his quarterback rating was the best of his career. Now think back to Herbert's earlier seasons. In his second year, he threw for over 5,000 yards. The league stood up and took notice. Everyone saw the potential. But oddly enough, his rating back then was lower than it was last season. Why? The answer is simple. He had more reliable targets back then. When Herbert has trustworthy receivers, guys who run sharp routes, make big catches, and stretch the field, he becomes a different quarterback. That's exactly where Trey Harris fits in. He can be the kind of player who not only gets open, but also makes Herbert's job easier. He's not just another rookie. He's a potential difference maker who could bring the best out of the Chargers franchise quarterback. And next, we're going deeper into how the Chargers scouting team found Harris, and how that process helped them land other underrated stars. You'll be surprised at how early this team spotted his potential. Herbert's challenge and the Chargers' big bet on talent. Last season, Justin Herbert had to do a lot with very little. His options were limited. He didn't have a steady receiving threat out of the backfield. The tight end position lacked consistency, and apart from Ladd McConkey, there really wasn't a true deep threat wide receiver to stretch the field. Despite that, Herbert still delivered the most efficient season of his career. Think about that. No star running back, no dangerous second option downfield, and still, he looked calm, sharp, and in control. Now imagine what happens when you give a quarterback like Herbert real weapons. That's exactly what the Chargers are doing. They're not just filling holes, they're building a powerful unit around their franchise quarterback. One exciting piece of that puzzle is Omari Hampton, the rookie running back whose story is just as compelling as his talent. There was a special behind-the-scenes look at how the Chargers decided to draft him, and it reveals a lot about how this front office operates. The night before the draft, assistant GM Chad Alexander had a strong feeling about Hampton. He couldn't stop thinking about him. As he rode home with GM Joe Ortiz, he said out loud what he was thinking. "I think Hampton is our guy." It wasn't a last-minute decision. Their team had been watching Omari Hampton since his freshman year. One of the Chargers scouts had tracked him all across his college journey. He wasn't just looking at stats. He was watching how Hampton ran, how he responded to pressure, how he led his team. This wasn't random luck. The Chargers knew what they were looking for. Their scouting covered a wide region, from North Carolina to New York, stretching through the entire East Coast and deep into the South. They wanted talent, yes, but they also wanted players with heart, toughness, and long-term potential. And Hampton checked all the boxes. This kind of deep scouting is why the Chargers are starting to feel different. They're not guessing. They're preparing. They're thinking long-term. And with players like Harris and Hampton entering the mix, Justin Herbert might finally have the support he needs to take this team to the next level. Omari Hampton's journey to the Chargers was no accident. Sometimes, a player's story starts long before the draft. That's exactly the case with Omari Hampton. Back in 2022, one of the Chargers' regional scouts had a massive territory to cover, but out of all the games he could have attended, he made a special trip to North Carolina versus Florida A&M. It turned out to be the very first college game of Hampton's career, and in that debut, Hampton ran for 101 yards, becoming the first true freshman at UNC to rush for 100-plus yards in a game since 1946. That moment put him on the Chargers' radar immediately. What stood out most? Even as a freshman, Hampton didn't play like a rookie. His size, strength, and maturity on the field made him look like an experienced junior. The Chargers didn't forget it. Over the years, they kept tabs on him. And when draft day came around, everyone in the room was on the same page. They believed Hampton had the makings of an elite NFL back. This wasn't just one scout's opinion. The buzz around Hampton extended across different front office members, some of whom had worked with other teams before joining the Chargers. For example, assistant GM Chad Alexander had scouted Hampton years ago during his time with the Jets. Now with the Chargers, that same belief followed him. It all came full circle. The Chargers knew they had to act fast. There was real concern that another team might grab Hampton before their pick at number 22nd, but when their turn came, they didn't hesitate. Hampton was theirs. Now, as organized team activities, OTA, continue, this is the perfect time for young players to show what they can do, especially wide receivers, corners, and yes, running backs like Hampton. While the full contact moments of training camp will reveal even more, it's already clear the Chargers made a smart move. They didn't just draft talent, they drafted a player they've been waiting on for years, one they believe can help transform their offense.